Yeah, we ready to start. Now.
Speak in your mic too, because we can't see you.
Okay. All right. Now, this is, I told you to remember a guy, this guy whose name is Jonas Ackerman. Okay? And Jonas Ackerman was a co-writer of Telephone, all right, the video we just saw. All right, so pay attention to this. This is kind of interesting because now you can start to see where this stuff is coming from. So let's get a little history of Jonas Ackerman. Jonas Ackerman is a Swedish film and music video director. He is best known for his stylish music videos, which are often mock forms of movie trailers and short films. His video for Madonna's song Ray of Light won a Grammy. Okay?
My standard of living, the demon.
Now that's Jonas Ackerman here.
The demon is greed.
Since Ackerman was a member of the Swedish black metal band Bathory from 1983 to 1984.
With envy.
The band is named after the infamous Hungarian Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
Around on his back. No where sugar and cream.
She has been labeled the most prolific female serial killer in history. Evidence of her alleged crimes is scant and her guilt is debated. After her husband's death, she and 4 collaborators were accused of torturing and killing hundreds of girls and young women, with one witness attributing to them over 600 victims, though the number for which they were convicted was 80. Now this is who his band was named after. She is remembered as the Blood Countess and as the Bloody Lady of Catchtis. Here are some of Bathory's t-shirts that you buy off their website. So you see the goat head. Okay. Now, these are the people that we're letting influence the minds of our children. Okay? You see the Baphomet. Okay? Witchcraft, I remember, as basically our version of Motorhead's. Overkill, Sands, the double bass drum, since that really wasn't regarded as oi or punk. And Satan, My Master, was inspired by this underground book I had just read on Satanists enduring the 15th century and their rituals, etc. The lyrics was basically straight from a blood sermon in that book.
That's the guy back when he's saying
This is Ackerman. Right. So you can clearly see this is him here. That he's a Satanist. Okay? So this is the guy that co-wrote and directed Telephone. Okay? Now, since we're running low on time, I want to hurry up and get to this next guy because he's very, very important to this discussion. All right.
also mentioned too the
But before we do that, let's just hear this real quick. All right, let's hear this.
fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time. His brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He will never give anything away whatsoever. He said one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's why do you think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain have access to televisions by the government?
Why do you think they
Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see, as Charles Galton, Darwin and others have said in the past. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television.
So think about it. Think how much people were against homosexuality, and then they started putting it on TV more and more. I just saw an episode of Maude. Remember that old show Maude? Yeah. They started pushing homosexuality on it. Go ahead, sister.
Have you heard of what some Muslims refer to the Dajjal?
Right.
Of the one-eyed monster?
Right.
Well, recently I heard are you familiar with him? From Ad-Dajjal Institute in California. He's a Caucasian Muslim.
I heard the name before.
He's considered a scholar.
Okay.
Well, he said on one of his lectures that some of the scholars subscribe to the belief, not all of them, that the television could be considered the job. That the television could be considered that while people waiting for this one-eyed monster to come walking around the earth, that indeed it could be considered the television.
Right. Well, see, the prophet warned us about this long ago. Okay? And all of the prophets were warned about it. But the thing is that we've been dealing with it for the longest. And it's not just the television. It's this whole Western civilization. Think about it. They said, when they gave the description of the Dajjal, they said he would have the capability to jump up and down in between the heavens and the earth.
Right.
That's not talking about, Muslims are waiting for this one man to come down and do this. That makes, right. But what they're talking about is the space shuttles. Because the space shuttles go up and they come down. It's an action of going up and down, jumping up and down in between the heavens and the earth. They said that he would be one-eyed. His right eye would be blind. He would be blind in his right eye. And the right side, all over the world, is seen as your spiritual side. They said that his left eye would be sparkling, shining bright. Okay, but that's his worldly or secular eye. Okay, and that's how much they're into materialism and stuff. Okay, they said that the oceans would be ankle deep to him. So that's just your submarines that can go so far into the ocean. Okay, see, back then, the Prophet Muhammad was just describing our civilization to his followers. He said that he would have a donkey whose ears were 70 feet long. He would have an ass whose ears were 70 feet long. That's your airplanes.
Right.
Because the donkey was the mode of travel. Airplanes are our mode of travel. So that's all it is. See, people, like I said, we have to start, as Muslims, starting to think, and not just, take things on the surface.
Because actually the job means deceiver. It's a system.
Right.
It's basically what it is.
Right. But it's to cover the truth with falsehood.
Right.
Yes.
Smearing tar over the belly of a camel.
Because Ahmed Thompson made a statement. He said, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed child is king.
Right. Well, see, and that's what it is. Because, see, what we're doing is that we're falling for these lies. they said that the religion of the Dajjal, they said that if you read the first 10 ayats and the last 10 ayats of the Surah of Kahf, the cave, you will be protected from the Dajjal. What is that talking about? It's talking about saying that Allah has a son. When you start looking at those first few ayats, and those last 10, it's addressing Christianity. Okay? And Christianity is, and we're gonna talk about that, because I want to show you some things. Because my thing is, we'll talk about it then. Because I want to, but we'll talk about it then. All right? But I want to hurry up and try to show you this next guy before we leave. Okay?
You can't watch a movie unless you do it critically. If you watch it critically, not the...
So we'll come back to this another time, but here we go. This is Aleister Crowley. How many people have heard of Aleister Crowley?
I'm from the murder capital. We'll be murdered for capital.
So now, if you look at Jay-Z, look at what you get from him. The pyramid with the eye. Okay, now that's done intentionally. Because he's a Mason. Okay? But we look up to these people. We're putting these people on a pedestal because they are financially successful. But they are so spiritually unsuccessful. Okay? And we're letting them influence our children. Okay? Now look at the stages that they put up. Pyramid. Okay? We got to start paying attention. Even if you look at the skyline downtown, there are pyramids on top of some of the buildings.
Yeah, that one building is the Council on Foreign Relations.
Liberty
Right.
1, Liberty 2,
Pyramid
Liberty
that
3.
lights up
Right.
the lake.
Right. And see, what happened was, there was an ordinance before where you couldn't build anything higher than William Penn.
Yeah.
Right. But the reason for that was because William Penn was a Mason.
Right.
And he was looking over the living dead. Who was the living dead? It's us. Because we don't know about, we don't know their language. We don't know what they're dealing with. Okay? So they look at us as the living dead.
Them dark forces and nobody also got a righteous cause for sending them a murder me.
So,
Procedures, Jesus. I ain't trying to be facetious, but vengeance is mindset. No respirators for killing my best war haters. Permanent hiatus is high skating in the Maybach.
now that's Aleister Crowley. Okay? And wait till you hear about Aleister Crowley.
Benz fly this sky lake. Bumping brown sugar by D'Angelo. And Lord said,
So Crowley was a Satanist. And he was a high-ranking Mason. Okay?
so you've been reading your songs and chapters, paying your time.
This is the book that he wrote. Okay? And it was called the Book of the Law. Alright? And in it, this book was supposed to have been dictated to him over the course of 3 days by a spirit. Okay? And the first law that this spirit gave him was, do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. In other words, do whatever you want to do that's going to make yourself happy. It doesn't matter if you're breaking God's laws or whatever. Just do whatever you want to do that makes you happy. Now, so how can he deny this? Now he's wearing shirts. Do what thou wilt. Okay? But our kids, we allow our kids we're allowing him to put thoughts and suggestions in the minds of our children when they listen to his music.
His wife is Madame Blavatsky, I believe.
No, that wasn't his wife. You mean Madame Blavatsky?
Right.
Yeah, she was another well-known occultist. Now, when you see, and you'll see this sometimes too, people standing where that where one hand is going up, one is pointed down. That stands for as above, so below. Because they looked at the stars were a reflection of what was going on down here. Okay? And even that's why they deal with Egypt so much. And they say that Egypt was made, how with the pyramids and stuff was aligned with the stars.
Madonna just did that whole ritual in that last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
She went through all of that.
Yeah. Well, she's heavy into it. Because it goes back to, well, we'll talk.
The Masons were the Egyptians. They would
The
have
heck, Lord, catch order.
Now, here's Beyonce with a Baphomet dress on, basically. Okay?
To all of my dick.
There's Kanye West with a Baphomet on his shirt. Okay? Now, if you ever saw his video Runaway, 30-minute video, so much occultic stuff in it, you wouldn't believe it. Okay? So what do we see here? One-eye symbolism. Okay? Now, this picture, this is from one of her videos. And look how they had her pose. Now, your arms can't even do that. So what they did was they actually messed with this picture digitally. And they made it look like a Baphomet. Okay? It looked like the satanic face that they use. Okay? Watch this. There's a show, Hercules, used to come on with Kevin Sorbo, right? Watch this.
Now is your chance to be like the gods. I'm gonna show you a world where the only crime is to not do whatever you wanna do. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
And did you hear this? Right in the television show.
This was that.
That was Hercules. This is from the show Hercules. Okay? The only crime is not to do what you want. Do what thou wilt, it will be the whole of the law. That's straight Aleister Crowley right there.
It almost seems to me as if they're targeting a black audience, because when you see a whole bunch of white people singing gospel music.
I like that anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
But this is a game, brother. This is a serious
All
game.
I ask is that you take my message of freedom into your hearts. Do you accept me? Do you accept me?
All right. So I'm going to stop that there, but I really want you to get more information of Aleister Crowley, but I'm going to, next time we'll do that. And I'm going to show you this one last thing. Now, Aleister Crowley, he actually bragged how he had sacrificed 150 kids in 1 year. Okay? He used to make his wife have sex with animals. Okay? He was kicked out of Italy because of the stuff that he was doing there in that country. He was actually kicked out of a country. Okay? And the rumor is, and I think it's very true, that Aleister Crowley is actually the father of Barbara Bush. And if you put a picture of them two funny looking jokers together, you can see it. Okay? I mean, funny looking. want to say ugly, but I said funny.
Yeah, I keep it in the family.
Call it like, yeah, you're right, sister. Ugly. He's an ugly cute. But I want you to see this. This is
Activities with your favorite.
from Cartoon Network. This is a show that was coming on called Billy and Mandy. All right? I want you to see this.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Now, wait a minute. Now, even when you look at the hands coming out the grave, they're doing this. Devil's horns. Okay?
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Cartoon Network. Alistair Crawl. Do what thou wilt.
What thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
And we'll end that right there. Oh yeah, all right, the brother wants to read Surah to Falak.
Yeah, Surah 113. This is Surah 113 of the Holy Quran. I'm going to read it in English. It says, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, say, I seek refuge with the